Hello, my friend. Today, I want to share with you a story that is bigger than one person. It is the story of humanity itself. A story about dreams, struggles, failures, and the few people who finally succeed. The title of this story is simple yet powerful. Why Most People Fail Before Success. Let us begin with a thought. Around the world, millions of people have dreams. A student dreams of graduating with honor. A worker dreams of starting a business. An artist dreams of showing their work to the world. A young athlete dreams of winning a championship. Dreaming is easy. Almost everyone can dream. But achieving? That is another matter. Because before the finish line of success, most people fall. They give up. They disappear from the road. Why does this happen? Why do most people fail before success? Let us walk together through this question. Every journey begins with excitement. When a person first decides to follow a dream, their heart is full of fire. The student buys new books and says, "I will study every day." The worker says, "I will save money and start my business." The athlete says, "I will train harder than anyone else." At the start, the energy is strong. Motivation is high. The picture of success is clear. But this is only the beginning. The real test comes later. Sooner or later, the dreamer meets the first obstacle. The student cannot remember difficult words. The worker spends money but does not find customers. The athlete loses the first competition. And suddenly, the dream no longer feels easy. Doubt enters the mind. The dreamer begins to think, maybe I am not good enough. Maybe I should stop. This is the moment where many people quit. Not because their dream was impossible, but because the first obstacle scared them. They believed failure was the end, when in truth, it was only the beginning. Why does failure feel so painful? Because failure touches our pride. It makes us feel small. It makes us feel weak. It makes us afraid of what others will say. When a person fails, the world often does not support them. Friends may laugh. Family may warn. Strangers may say, "We told you this would not work." And in that heavy moment, quitting feels easier than trying again. This is the first reason most people fail before success. They believe the pain of failure is stronger than the hope of victory. But not everyone stops. A small number of people continue. What makes them different? It is not luck. It is not genius. It is not money. It is simply the decision to continue. History is full of such people. Thomas Edison failed thousands of times before he created the light bulb. J.K. Rowling's book was rejected again and again before Harry Potter became famous. Walt Disney was told he had no imagination before he built his empire. These people were not protected from failure. They failed more than others, but they refused to stop. And that is the secret. Most people love comfort. Success requires sacrifice. It requires long nights, early mornings, hard work, and risk. But human nature often chooses comfort instead of challenge. When the road becomes difficult, people say, "Why should I suffer? Why should I risk? Why not stay safe and live an ordinary life?" And so they go back to comfort. They choose rest over discipline, safety over risk, small dreams over big dreams. Years later, they look back with regret and ask, "What if I had continued?" This is the second reason most people fail before success. They choose comfort over growth. Another reason is impatience. In the modern world, people are trained to want results quickly. Fast food, fast internet, fast entertainment. But real success is never fast. The student wants to learn a language in 1 month. The worker wants to be rich in 1 year. The athlete wants to win without years of training. And when success does not come quickly, they feel disappointed. They say, This is not working, and they quit. But if they had continued just a little longer, success might have arrived. This is the third reason most people fail before success. They cannot wait for results. Another great enemy of success is fear of judgment. People worry too much about what others will say. What if I fail and they laugh? What if I try and they criticize me? What if I lose and people think I am weak? This fear of judgment kills more dreams than failure itself. Most people stop because they are too busy protecting their pride. But here's the truth. Those who judge you are not the ones living your life. They are not the ones carrying your dream. Their opinion cannot build your future. Here's the reality. Success always comes with a price. And the price is failure, rejection, and sacrifice. Those who finally succeed are not those who avoided failure. They are the ones who failed many times, but kept moving. They are the ones who carried their dream through nights of doubt, days of hunger, and years of struggle. That is why success is rare. That is why most people fail before success. Not because success is impossible, but because they are not willing to pay the price. Think of Abraham Lincoln. Before becoming President of the United States, he lost many elections. He failed in business. He faced personal tragedy. But he did not stop. His story proves that failure can be a road to greatness if you continue walking. Think of Michael Jordan, one of the greatest basketball players. In school, he was rejected from the basketball team. But instead of quitting, he trained harder. Later, he said, "I have missed more than 9,000 shots in my career. I have lost almost 300 games. 26 times I was trusted to take the winning shot, and I missed. I have failed over and over and over again in my life. And that is why I succeed." Think of Colonel Sanders, the man who created Kentucky Fried Chicken. He was rejected more than 1,000 times before someone agreed to use his recipe. Most people would have stopped after 10 rejections, maybe 20. But he continued. And today, his recipe is known around the world. These stories show the truth. Success is not given to the first attempt. It comes after the 100th, the 1,000th, the endless attempt. But those who succeed are the ones who continue. They accept failure as a teacher. They sacrifice comfort for growth. They wait patiently. They ignore judgment. They pay the price. And in the end, success arrives. So my friend, the lesson is simple. Failure is not the end. Failure is part of the road. The question is not whether you will fail. You will. Everyone fails. The question is, will you stop when you fail, or will you continue? Most people stop. That is why most people fail before success. But if you refuse to stop, if you keep walking, then success will be waiting for you at the end. This is the story of life. Across history, across nations, across generations, the pattern is the same. Millions dream, most quit, a few continue, and only those few finally succeed. So remember this truth whenever you fall. Failure is not your enemy. Failure is your teacher. Success is not the prize of one try. It is the prize of never giving up. This is why most people fail before success. And this is why you must not be one of them.